thank those who stood by me during the trials and tribulations. I had some downtime with my channel. And yeah, we're going to talk about this man here on the left. You know, Martin Luther King, you know, the one on the left you may not have seen because he's been hidden. They, whoever you think they are, do not want you to know about Elijah Muhammad. You know, the day when the king made that speech at the you know that big speech he made where he talked about he'd been to the mountaintop at the White House. He said he'd been to the mountain. He said he went to the mountaintop, right? What he's talking about? He said, I may not get there with you, but we as a people are going to get to the promised land. What was he talking about? Marching on Washington, that's what it was. He was talking about his meeting with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When Elijah Muhammad told him, brother, you're going about it the wrong way. We're not supposed to be integrating. We are not supposed to be integrating. God told us to separate. Do you see birds integrating? Do you see geese? Do you see any species of animal on God's green earth integrating? No. In the creation, go and read it. In Genesis, it said, each after its own kind. If we were meant to integrate, there was no need for us to be made each to his own kind. That's why you have species and different types of animals and plants because they are a specific kind. And when you start mixing up and changing the genome of animals and plants, you start messing with nature. And that's what you have with the people. People are not meant to be. Even the Bible tells you it's against they call it uh, I call it miscegenation. The Bible calls it intermingling. You know, 'cause you mix up two things very different. You don't know what you're going to get, but it's not going to be the original. So take pride in yourself. You know, during Elijah Muhammad's time, we was proud of our hair. Sister had afros. Brothers had afros. They didn't have knots tied up in their head. Women didn't wear white blonde wigs. That was unheard of. Only street women wore those type of clothing because they want to appeal to their customer base. So get back to sanity, women, because you are espousing white supremacist values. When you wear a blonde wig, you are saying you're a white supremacist. You think white blonde hair is supreme to your own hair. That's what you're saying. Whether you meant to say it or not, you're saying you're inferior. If you were not inferior, you would have your own hair and be proud of it, like we was back in the day. See, I remember I was there. But we come a long ways doing integration. See, y'all was born doing this downfall of us integration. And you picked up a lot of the bad habits of the people who hate you. See, you got to remember now, they done this by force. They didn't. Nobody willing to integrate it with you. They was forced to. So of course, if you forced to do something, you're going to hate it for generations. Because the law is be with your own kind. That's natural law. Any animal trying to integrate with another species of animal is going to be killed because he don't belong there. And he should have enough sense to know he don't belong there. So what you see on the animal kingdom, why should it be different in the human kingdom? All the horrors you've suffered, my people, because you're trying to force yourself to be accepted. That's against nature. Accept your own and be yourself. That's what Elijah Muhammad taught. That's what he was teaching uh, Martin Luther King when he said, I may not get to the promised land because he was teaching you wrong. But he said, we as a people going to get to the promised land. What's the promised land? When you realize you're supposed to build your own communities, you're not supposed to be accepting handouts, you're rich, you got the resources, you just have to unite, come together, and do for yourself as every other civilized people on the earth. See, to get to this point where we are now, when you got women walking around naked, no shame, it's over close to 100 years of integration that caused this. 80 years to be more specifically. Before then, we had shame. We wouldn't dare go out there naked. The community could put you in check. If you was doing something wrong, we would come and take you out of that whatever you was doing. Peer pressure, community pressure. So now that our communities have been just about destroyed, and you have nobody's teaching you that looks like you, you're totally somebody else. I had a niece who told me because she was mixed, she didn't identify as black. A niece was proud of her white ancestry and didn't think she should be called black. Where she thinks she is, in South Africa somewhere, with a separation from the colored people and the black people? No. In America, if you don't have all white features, you're black or Asian, whatever race you are. Asians are they're the ones who are passing for white. I remember when anyway, I don't want to prolong this video. Thank y'all for staying with me for the time I've been gone and your subscriptions. And remember, you are helping a lot of people by subscribing because every subscription helps the channel to get exposed to people who don't know this. So, the bottom line is reality check is be yourself and love your own. Half the things we going through would not exist if you did that. Always in the news, somebody's harming us, somebody's killing us. Why? Because you outside your element. You in other people's business. Just come in your own community, lead them people along, and watch how you prosper. It's easy to do. Matter of fact, God said you're supposed to do that. So all the things you're going through is because you're going against God's commandments. Did he say love yourself? Okay, how can you love yourself if you're trying to look like somebody else? Women, take those wigs off. You look ridiculous. You look like clowns. And you are advertising white supremacy. You're saying your hair is inferior and white hair is superior. God, you made a mistake. You didn't give me long blonde hair. Is that true? You're sick. Nobody else does that. Do you see people walk around, put on afros, talking about they hate their hair, they want to have afros? No. They're intelligent people. They love the way God made them. So when you start doing that, you come to your senses, you have self respect, and then other people respect you. But don't ask people to respect you if you don't respect yourself. You crying out for disrespect when you don't respect yourself. What's going on in the chat? Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know where you come from. Let me know where you hail from. I've been gone for a little bit. We're back. All right, what y'all got for me? Questions about what's been said? So the bottom line is that when Martin Luther King had this meeting with Elijah Muhammad and he told him that you are teaching the people wrong, that's when Martin Luther King said, I'm afraid I may have taken my people into a burning house. Why did he say that? He found out through this man, Elijah Muhammad, that you're not supposed to integrate. You are supposed to be in your own house because God was going to bring judgment on their house for their past deeds. And you don't want to be caught in that fire. Bottom line. Okay, this has been a reality check. Thanks again for stopping by. So I'll let you next time and be free to leave comments and leave questions. And remember, we love you when you love yourself. Bottom line, reality check.